Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, all viewers of all ages and genders. It is me, Mr. Ncappy. I am back, and today we are doing a top 7 video. I was going to say 10, but there's only 7 because there's only 7 of existence. So they're basically just ranked, but it's just top 7. So top 7 flyers in the island map specifically. This is not regarding the other creatures yet. We're not talking about those yet. We're just talking about exclusively on the island, the very first map on Ark Survival. And we are just disclaiming and telling the top ranked flyers of that map. So this will help you for beginners and experienced as well. So I hope you enjoy, and let's start ranking, shall we? Coming in at number 7, this is the bottom of the list, is the Archy Optics. He is not exactly the best in the game. He's not much to look at either. He's just kind of a small fella. He's very excited, but he's technically a flyer, but you can't ride him. He's very different from the other flyers. And how you tame this guy is you go in the redwoods, so for say over there, or wherever the big trees are in your world, the big redwood trees, and he'll be sitting on a tree somewhere, I believe. When you knock him out, he eats chitin, and only chitin. He will not eat anything else. Doesn't take long to tame him, but when you do, I want to say he's not very useful, but he has his touches, so let's show you what he does. So he kind of just hangs on to you like this, like a mini parachute. He's not the best in the game. That's why he's at the bottom. He's the worst flyer, because you find a cliff, and when you do, you just jump off like so. And you kind of just take off, and you do descend slowly. But he's a fun creature. You could be Archy Optics man with this creature. He's not the best for that reason. Just because he disables you being able to attack, grab. You can ride creatures with the Archy Optics, like when you're carrying or he's carrying you. But you cannot fight. And neither he is. He's a runner. He will run in any fight. But yeah, he's really not the best creature to pick for your flying status. Alright, arriving at our number 6 spot, we have the Terror Bird. If you have not seen this guy, you're lucky. This is one of the most annoying creatures in Ark Survival. The chicken, the prehistoric chicken. If you thought the dodo was a chicken, this is a real chicken. They usually thrive in the redwoods, and they're basically the velociraptors of the redwoods. Every biome has their version of a raptor. And the terror bird hunts in packs. And they mess you up. This is a level 7, and it's got 270 health, 175 melee damage, but they come in packs of like 4, so when you go to land, they ambush you. But it's coming in number 6 because this is a flyers list. This is not base of combat, this is base of flying. Although combat can strike a place depending on how good you are at combat, but it is mostly about flying. And the reason why this guy comes in at number 6 is because, similar to the Archy Optics, it can't exactly fly, but it's a type of flying. It's gliding, I suppose. Find yourself a cliff, and you kind of just float, like float. Yeah, it's kind of underwhelming, I know. I mean, they're fast on ground as well, but for a flyer, it's not the best. It's got good mobility, I guess. It's just really underwhelming. It's only got one attack. I don't think it takes fall damage, although I could be wrong. No, it doesn't. Wait, does it? Let's test this out just to make sure, because I'm 70% sure it does not take fall damage, although I could be wrong. But the Terror Bird is pretty awful for the flying. It's decent for mobility, but okay, it does take fall damage. I was pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it doesn't take fall damage from a certain height, but it's really bad because of just how awful it is at flying. But it's still a flyer, so there you have it. Swooping in at our number 5 spot, I'm pretty sure all Ark Survival players will know this flyer. There's no way you don't. It is the Tronadon, or a more simple term is a pterodactyl, most will refer to. But its name is the Tronadon. It is the most basic flyer in this game. Its stats are average. Its melee damage, it may look like it says 220, but it's really bad. The weight is not anything special. The stamina is going to annoy all players in the beginning when they're trying to go on an adventure for the first time on a Tronadon, because its stamina is horrible. And I mean horrible. It will run out less than 2 minutes. And nobody's gonna slow fly. Everybody's gonna fast fly, because fast fly gets you there faster. But it is the fastest flyer in the game. It is the fastest. As long as you're not carrying anything on your player, there's nothing weighing down the Tronadon except its saddle. It is the fastest in the game. Nothing can catch up to it except another Tronadon. It is the fastest. I am not joking. It is incredibly fast. It is extremely fast. And it even has a barrel roll agility sprint thing, but it uses half the stamina bar. But it is worth it for the getaway, I suppose. It also does loads of damage. But yeah, that is number 5, the Tronadon. Everybody knows it. It is a basic dino, but it is good for its speed, horrible for stamina. Floating in at number 4, we have the Pelargonium. Now, some players might not even know this thing exists, because it's exclusive to being on the water. What is going on with your beak? Its beak is kind of cracked off, that's strange. But it's exclusive to water. You will not see this thing in the mountains, you will not see it on land. Although it'll be on beaches, but not on land. Like, it won't be in the grasses, it won't be in the volcanic area. It's at number 4 because I'd rank it slightly better than the Tronadon, since the Tronadon's only good factor is its speed. The Pelargonium isn't exactly the best for combat. It is good for killing fish at least, but it has a unique thing that no other flyer in this game has. Nothing, not a single flyer has this except this. It can float on water. It can just kind of float. And it can just pedal. You can kill fish that are floating. And I believe it does get bonus damage for killing fish. It is pretty fun to do this. You can fast swim on it. It's pretty decent. It would come in further if it was just better than the other flyers, but it isn't. It has only one ability, which is biting and pecking, but it's decent at flying. It's very, very decent at flying, at least. Yeah. It's okay at flying. I wouldn't call it amazing. It hovers cool, at least. It could float anywhere too, any type of water. I believe you just, yeah, it won't throw you off the mount if you try and swim off. You'll stay on it forever. You cannot upgrade oxygen. Well, you could, but it's useless. There's nothing, no point. It has a little bit less stamina than the Tronadon, but that's about the only disadvantage of this bird. Because I wouldn't go into battle. I wouldn't try and fight a Carno with a Pelargonium. It's travel. I mean, if you want to try and get over there and you run out of stamina, just swim down and you'll float. It swims pretty fast. See, there's another wild Pelargonium just strutting on the water. They're found just anywhere on the water. You'll not find them in ponds though or swamps. That is not where they belong. They're the seagull of the game. Okay, hovering at our number 3 spot, getting really close to the end here, is the Tapijara. Now, most new players probably will have a hard time taming this, because if you approach this beautiful dinosaur in the wild, you may see one and think, oh, it looks like a Tronadon. How about I try and tame it? If you were to approach about this close, it would get frightened and fly off in the distance into the sky, and it will not land for around 3 hours. They never land, basically. So if you see one fly off, you're not seeing it again. But it is one of the best flyers in the island and in the game, in my opinion, because you can't see at the moment because there's only one person on it, but it has the capability of having 3 seats in the dinosaur. So you can, if you have a tribe of 3, they can all sit on the Tappy together. And this thing is amazing for stamina and amazing for weight, and you can level up both those. And then its other factor is that it can fly in any direction it wants. It is multi-traversal in the air. It is a very fun flyer to use, and you feel very safe and stable on it. Unfortunately, its melee capability is horrible. It is not a fighter. It will go down in a fight. And its other factor, which is very unique to this dinosaur, it can land sideways and upside down. You could do this to try and tame a dinosaur. Like if you're trying to get a Rex, you lead it to a side of the cliff. It does regenerate stamina on the wall. Let's see if I can do it again. It's a little tricky. I think I can do it here. Nope. Okay. Here? Nope. Okay, it's being tricky. So, it's mainly used to hug walls and cliffs, and even ceilings if you have to. I will show you by clinging onto this rock here, because those slants do not want me landing on them. So you just fly up to a wall, and you will land on it like so. You do regenerate stamina at an incredibly reduced rate. You should be recovering stamina a lot faster than this. If I go up on here landing normally, you will see a difference in the stamina regenerative. See? Much more. Much quicker. But the Tappy is amazing. If you can try and successfully tame the Tappy, you will be rewarded handsomely, because this guy is amazing for traveling anywhere, especially if you have a tribe. Clawing its way into number 2, not quite number 1, but number 2, which is pretty good. If you can get your hands on this one, you're gonna love it. This is the Argentavis, an eagle-like bird with razor-sharp talons. It is amazing at everything. You can make it a weight bird, you can make it a combat bird. It levels up nicely in every category. It's an all-star at it. And this is just a base bird that spawns in, and its base damage is 47. That's really good. For a level 15, that's really good. The Carbonemus is one of the most tankiest dinosaurs. It's taking 47 damage. That is a lot. This bird is amazing, because you can use it for metal runs, which is a must-have. If you're playing a normal server that is not boosted, then that is a must-have. Oh, there's eggs. Now I feel a little bad. But this bird is amazing at leveling up in every category. It's perfect. There's nothing wrong with the Argentavis. It even has the healing factor. As soon as you harvest a body, you gain double healing. That heals you rapidly. There's nothing wrong with this bird. You could have an army of these. These things are stronger than Rex's, believe it or not, just because they're sheer damage. If you get a bird up to 2,000 health, you are carrying a weapon. A very, very dangerous weapon that could kill anything on that map. Well, of course, there are some exceptions that will survive a bird like this, but you know what I mean of the main general dinosaurs in the game. When you see a T-Rex, you fly at it with your Argentavis and claw it to death. This thing, like all flyers, though, will dismount you if you fly in the water. And it is just an all-star at it, because it can do anything. You want it to be a travel bird, you got it. There ain't anything that's gonna bug you unless you get dismounted by some sort of mysterious monster. But yeah, the Argentavis. Landing in at our number 1 spot is the behemoth of the sky on the island, the Quetzal. Now, most players must see this. They must have. Just when you're flying around in the sky, when you're going somewhere, you must have seen this big monster flying around. It is huge compared to all the other flyers in the game. It is massive. Although it won't hurt you. It won't hurt you. This thing is very special. Very. Because it can carry dinosaurs that are huger than others. So like a parasaur, the turtle. I'm pretty sure even like a scorpion, or I think even the Triceratops actually. But this is a behemoth of the sky. It's got massive amounts of health just by default. The stamina is decent. The weight, it could be increased a lot, I'll tell you. But this thing is huge. It is massive. This is the best flyer in the game on the island, just because of its sheer size and how safe you feel on it. But the biggest factor about it is its platform saddle. That's right. You can walk all over its back when you have a platform saddle. You can also build on it. You can place foundations. You can increase this, I believe, 4 foundations wide and about 6 foundations long. And you can increase the length with a couple ceilings. Now I just have a cooker and an industrial grill to place on it to show you can place. You can place yourself a fabricator, whatever you want. Now those do take up a lot of space on this bird, unfortunately, unless you were to increase its platform size. But you can just fly around all over the place. I wouldn't suggest initiating in combat with this bird, although it will hold its own. It probably would be able to kill a T-Rex, to be honest. But I wouldn't use it as a combat weapon. It is just a massive transporter that will get you around the map. You can build a house on this bird and just fly wherever you want. You can put industrial cookers, you can put the forges, you can put smithies, you can put a bed, and you can just fly over on the map. It will dismount you if you go in the water. It does okay damage to dinosaurs, but again, do not initiate in combat. because this bird is not built for combat. Taming this guy is a little bit painful depending on how far you are into the game. I would recommend using long neck rifles, although you can use tranquilizer arrows if you want, but I'd still recommend the long necks. You can tame it by just finding it on any map, except like Aberration or anything. We're not talking about that. It will spawn all over the map, just on any region, just flying, roaming in the sky. Taming it is tricky, but it is possible. But yes, once you shoot it or attack it, it will flee from you. It does not want to fight you. It will immediately just flee, as it does not want to fight you. There's a Tech T-Rex over there. But this thing is amazing. It is one of the best flyers. It's just amazing. It does come in a bone variant and also a tech variant, which you can fly around and you can find them. There's nothing wrong with taming those, but this is the regular variant. And yeah, this is just an amazing bird. It's beautiful, it's huge. If you have this, people will probably be scared of you if you're on an online server, because you can just turn this into a dropship that just bombs below. But yeah, number 1 is the Quetzal, the best flyer in the island. The island. Just making sure you hear that. The island. Anyway, guys, that was top 7 flying dinos in Ark Survival Evolved. The island specifically. This is the island ranking. I hope you all enjoyed this top 7 video, and subscribe. And make sure to smash that like button. Smash it. I mean, demolish it. Make sure it's not even there after you hit it. Like, just demolish it. But if you all enjoyed, make sure to stick around and stay tuned for the next top whatever video. I wonder whatever the next one will be. Adios.